All eyes on Tropical Storm Debbie, which continues to really barely move off the South Carolina coast, but it is going to be turning back into the coastline, making a second landfall sometime late tonight into early tomorrow morning. It has regained some of its prior strength, but it will likely not become a hurricane again, but still a strong tropical storm. Once it takes a turn to the north, which will happen Thursday, it will start to pick up speed very quickly. It's going to make its way toward the northeast. Now, the track bends back westward quite a bit, so it cuts almost through the West Virginia Panhandle, through Pennsylvania and through New York State, and then exits around Burlington, Vermont into Canada sometime before the sun comes up Saturday morning. So it's going to move out of here very fast. Because it's picking up in speed, that's actually better news for our area. So weather alerts right now, of course, you have the tropical storm warnings into the Carolinas through Wilmington, and then a few tropical storm watches. But the flood watch is the biggest concern at this point. Once it makes its way back on shore, the inland flooding risk gets much higher. So especially for the Appalachians, that's where it's going to be really ugly. But then getting all the way up into Pennsylvania and possibly up into western New York. Flood watches are not expected for western Mass. So right now we're seeing this thing spinning right along the coast. So the flooding is still, insane for the Carolinas right now because they just have had no break. So lots of flash flood warnings are still ongoing. Farther north, we have this stalled frontal boundary that kind of lingers throughout the mid-Atlantic. The cloud cover from that stalled front just barely skirting western Mass. It's been hanging tough all day, but it is starting to kind of ease up a little bit. We're starting to see more breaks of blue sky. As we continue into this evening, skies should actually partially or even mostly clear out for at least a couple of hours. Some overnight fog development, low clouds for the hill towns, and then cloud cover gradually just starts streaming back in as remnants of Debbie start pushing northward. Now, the first half of the day tomorrow is going to be rain-free. It'll start off cool and comfy in the morning, but mugginess will climb into the afternoon. We hit mid-70s, and then we'll start seeing some scattered showers by the late afternoon and evening. So kind of around this time tomorrow. Scattered showers will be ongoing for Thursday night. It'll start turning much more humid as we continue through Friday morning. Now, occasional downpours are expected here across pretty much the entire region. So we're talking all of New England starting on Thursday night, and it's going to last off and on throughout the day Friday, but it is not going to rain nonstop. The heaviest nonstop rain will be closer to the area of low pressure. So that's going to pass off to our west. Now, we could certainly still get some downpours, and the heaviest rain should be seen Friday night. We could also get some gusty breezes or even an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm with damaging wind gusts. Most of our wind will gust 20 to maybe 40 miles an hour as the bulk of the rain moves through. By Saturday morning, rain is out of here, and the weekend is actually looking completely dry. We'll have decreasing clouds on Saturday and returning sunshine for Sunday. The highest probability of flooding and flash flooding goes from northern Vermont to all the way down into West Virginia. So we're missing out on that, but isolated flooding or flash flooding, of course, can't be ruled out with anything tropical. So the rainfall totals, you can see, this is the big stuff here. It's just 5, 6, 7 inches of rain. That, 5, 6 inches out toward western New York. Buffalo is going to see more rain than we are. Across New England and especially western Mass, we could pick up some isolated amounts over an inch. But again, we're not expecting widespread heavy rain or widespread flooding. Humidity starts to drop Saturday, and then we go into this stretch of more comfortable weather. Good sunshine, pleasantly warm during the day, but below normal temperatures. And at night, back into the 50s. Our break is finally on the horizon. Chris, back to you.